But what Garrett didn't know was that Naomi wasn't just homeless. She was running from a betrayal so dark, so calculated, that it destroyed her entire life. And the man responsible was still out there. Inside Garrett's sleek black sedan, Naomi stared out the window like she was watching a world she no longer belonged to. City lights blurred into streaks. Her heartbeat was unsteady, her breath shallow. She had spent 2 years surviving, and suddenly she was sitting beside a billionaire who looked at her like she still mattered, like she always had. "Talk to me," Garrett said softly. "I'm here now." Naomi laughed bitterly. "You're here for the version of me you remember. That girl doesn't exist." "She does," he whispered. "She's sitting right next to me." Silence fell, heavy with memories neither of them had spoken in 12 years. She remembered him at 17, quiet, brilliant, and always hungry. Not just for food, but for dignity, respect, a future. She remembered packing extra lunch because she knew he wouldn't eat otherwise. She remembered encouraging him when he doubted himself. What she never knew was that he loved her. "Garrett," she whispered, "why didn't you tell me?" "I was terrified. You were brilliant, beautiful, destined for greatness. And I was the poor kid who could barely afford textbooks." Naomi turned to him, eyes softening. "I never cared about that." "But I did," he admitted. "I wanted to become someone worthy of you." A memory hit her so hard, it knocked the air from her lungs. Him sitting in the high school library, alone, pretending to read, hiding his hunger. She had seen him then, really seen him. That's why she approached him. That's why their friendship grew. "You looked at me like I mattered," Garrett said, voice cracking. "Everyone else looked through me but you. You saved me." Naomi swallowed hard. "You saved yourself, Garrett. I just gave you company." He shook his head. "No, you gave me hope." She looked away, tears pooling. "If you knew what I've become now, you wouldn't feel that way." "Then show me," Garrett whispered. "Tell me everything. Start from the beginning." Naomi took a deep breath, bracing herself for the storm in her memories, and she began. Garrett Stone never believed in coincidences. Billionaires usually don't. Their lives move on calculations, planning, strategy, and certainty. But that night in Austin, something in the universe shifted. He didn't need to attend the final signing of the $300 million tech acquisition. His team could handle everything. But a strange restlessness, a pull he couldn't define, dragged him across the country. He wandered alone in November's cold air after the meetings, ditching his security team. He needed quiet, silence, meaning. Something was missing in his life. Something gaping and unspoken. It had been missing for 12 years. His footsteps led him to a small soup kitchen he had funded anonymously. He'd never visited it before. Maybe curiosity led him. Maybe fate held his hand. He stepped inside, met with warmth and the low murmur of survival, people fighting battles he'd only escaped through luck and ambition. He stood near the entrance observing quietly, when suddenly his breath froze. A woman sat alone in a corner, thin, fragile, hands wrapped around a bowl of soup like it was the last warmth she had left in the world. Something in the tilt of her head, the gentle curve of her cheekbone, the quiet dignity in her posture. His heart jolted violently. Naomi Clark. His Naomi. The black girl who once saw him when the whole world overlooked him. His first love. His only love. She lifted her head, and the moment their eyes met, the earth stopped spinning. Her spoon fell from her hand. Her eyes widened in horror. She stood abruptly, shaking, afraid. "No, you can't see me like this," she whispered. "You weren't supposed to find me." But Garrett took a step forward, voice steady and full of 12 years of longing. "I'm not leaving you again, Naomi. Not this time." Her walls crumbled, tears poured, grief, shame, love, all at once. "I'm nothing now, Garrett," she cried. "I have nothing left." "You're wrong." he whispered. I see the same girl who believed in me when I was nobody, and I'm still in love with you. She collapsed into his arms, and he held her like a man who had found a missing piece of his soul. And just like that, destiny rewrote itself. Naomi's voice trembled as she spoke. After college, I joined Donovan Partners, the best architectural firm in Seattle. I worked hard. I earned everything. And then I met Julian Harper. Garrett stiffened instantly. He was charming, wealthy, confident. He admired my ambition, or pretended to. I thought he was proud of me. But he wasn't. Garrett muttered. No, she whispered. He envied me. For 2 years, Julian played the role of the perfect partner. Supportive, loving, encouraging. Naomi believed she had found someone who valued her success, until her biggest project, Riverside Commons. It was my masterpiece, she said. 2 years of work, innovation, sustainability, everything I dreamed of. What happened? Garrett asked, though a dark suspicion already formed. The building collapsed. Garrett's jaw clenched. No fatalities, she continued, but the investigation found forged approvals, fake emails, altered blueprints, all under my name. You didn't sign those, Garrett said sharply. Of course not, Naomi cried, but the evidence was perfect, too perfect. Then the moment came, the moment that destroyed her. I confronted Julian. I asked him if he sabotaged my work. Garrett leaned in. What did he say? Naomi shivered. He smiled. He said I needed to be put in my place, that I wasn't supposed to outshine him. Garrett stood abruptly, fury exploding across his face. That bastard. It gets worse, she whispered. Her voice grew smaller, more fragile. When the media destroyed me, when the firm fired me, when my license was suspended, Julian emptied our bank accounts, threw me out, and filed for divorce. She looked at Garrett, eyes hollow. I lost everything in one night. Garrett's hands shook with rage. You didn't deserve any of this, he said, voice low and deadly. And I will fix it. I swear I will. Back at the Four Seasons penthouse, Naomi stepped into the shower and let the hot water break her open. Dirt washed away. The cold left her bones, but the shame remained stubborn. When she emerged in a white robe, her curls damp, Garrett had prepared an entire feast for her. I didn't know what you liked anymore, he said quietly. So I got everything. She ate slowly, and Garrett watched her with a softness that made her chest ache. You don't need to take care of me, Naomi whispered. I want to, he said. She stared at him. This man who had built empires, who was feared in boardrooms, yet looked at her like she was the only thing in the room that mattered. I'm broken, Garrett. Then let me help you heal. She shook her head. I don't know how to start again. He reached across the table and took her hand. You start by not being alone. Her throat tightened. You loved me all these years. Garrett smiled sadly. I never stopped. Naomi's heart cracked open. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Because I thought you were happy, and I wanted you to have the life you deserved. Her tears flowed freely. What if I don't know how to love anymore? Garrett brushed a tear from her cheek. Then let me remind you, it was the gentlest promise she had ever heard. Morning sunlight spilled into the penthouse when Naomi woke. Warm, safe, rested for the first time in years. Garrett sat near the window, scrolling through files, jaw tight. What are you doing? She asked softly. He looked up. Fixing your life. Naomi blinked. What? Garrett stood, walking toward her with fire in his eyes. I hired investigators, lawyers, forensic analysts. Your husband forged documents, altered plans, and diverted funds from the project. Naomi froze. You have proof? Not yet, he said, but we will. She swallowed. Why are you doing all this? Garrett cupped her face gently. Because someone stole your life, Naomi, and I'm going to get it back for you. Her breath hitched. You don't owe me anything. He smiled softly. I owe you 12 years of love I never gave you. Naomi's heart fluttered, fragile, scared, hopeful. Garrett, what if I break again? He pulled her into his arms. Then I'll hold the pieces. For the first time in 2 years, Naomi believed in something again. Not miracles, not fate, but love. Real, impossible, stubborn love. The kind that survives 12 years. Survives distance, survives heartbreak, survives destruction. The kind that finds you in a soup kitchen when you're at your lowest and whispers, "I'm still here."